Okay, so we're recording. I just want to welcome everybody tonight. I know we're going to have some more people flow in here as we go. We always do, but I have asked Kauri Thompson to join us tonight. I want to make it a point to have a special guest about once a month. Kauri is a phenomenal source of support. He has become a very good friend of Kevin and mine. We are very blessed to be working with somebody like himself. Kauri is actually who introduced Travis to APL Go. We were very fortunate that he thought of Travis and Travis thought of us. I've asked him to come on and kind of just share about why he decided to come over here. He was actually the president of another very high momentum company, and he walked away from that to join us over here at APL Go. And if it wasn't for Kauri, none of us would be here, the reality of it. So Kauri, I want you to take it away. I think I've done enough talking. We're just very blessed to welcome you to the Candy Crew training. We do this every Monday night, and take it away.
All right. Well, thank you, Sarah and Alicia, especially the both of you for having me as a guest this evening. I love these opportunities, especially when we have smaller groups to kind of share what's in my heart about the company and what's lay ahead for us. I was mentioning a little bit earlier, on July the 4th of this year, we reached out and sponsored in our very first distributors into APL Go in the US, and that was with Travis and Summer, Alicia and Matt and Sarah and Kevin. So these guys have a lot of early history. They're the very first people that came on. And I remember that day, we really wanted to enroll them on the 4th of July to represent freedom and moving forward in a new direction. And what an event that was. And I think we had a few difficulties trying to figure out how to sign up because nobody had really signed up before. And if you could imagine the website with Russian language and some of the thought processes and how they think we should sign up. And it was a process. But during that process, we began to work with each other for the very first time. And here we are, 5 months later. I think it's 5 months, 4 or 5 months. And look at what we've accomplished so far. So that's a big credit to these two very special women. And I will say that in this industry, your upline is everything. It doesn't necessarily make or break you, but if you have a good upline, good leaders, it really makes the path an easier path. So I just want to acknowledge that. I'm going to share tonight a couple of ideas that I hope will help you. And I've been thinking a lot about this during the day. What a wild year 2020 has been. I think everybody would agree, and I know it's talked about a lot. Nobody expected a year like this. I was actually in Moscow in March when this whole thing was going down, and I saw the airports closing across Europe. And I had a week to get out, and I knew I could just hold on. And fortunately, I got out in time, but my interpreter stayed for 4 extra days. And that decision caused her to stay in Moscow until 3 weeks ago. They finally let her out. So she missed the time window. And I guess I'm bringing that up because these things that happen in our lives, all the events that take place, they're happenstance to some degree. 2020 has been difficult for so many people, but with these come new opportunities. And I think the difference between being successful and maybe being a victim, if you will, is successful people look at all the crises going on, the adversity, and they figure out how to see the silver lining in it and take advantage of things. I don't have to tell you guys about the economy, what's happening. I live in a state where everything is open, so we're very lucky. Utah's a very conservative state, yet when I see the news, I see California being shut down, LA. My kids are living with me. They got married back in September. They're living in my basement, my daughter and her husband, and they can't go back to LA because everything's shut down. She's a pop singer and he's a dancer for Timberlake, Rihanna. They have no business going on. So they're trying to figure out what their next move is. And this is a story that I think every one of us knows somebody in this situation. And it's just been really, really crazy. With that being said, think about like school, all the schools shut down. My son, I don't know whether he's going to school like tomorrow or not. It's always like, I'm not going to go to school. It got shut down again. What do we do? So all this uncertainty that's going on, what can we control? And I'm going to talk a little bit about mindset because it's really, really important. When you join a company like APO Go, you are an entrepreneur. You're being asked to do things maybe that you've never done before. And for a lot of people, it's really foreign to pick up the phone and to become a salesperson. When I started the business, I realized for myself, man, I'm willing to go work for somebody else, put the time in, but am I willing to do it for myself? And that was a mindset I had to get around. Like, okay, this guy's going to pay me whatever. I'm happy to do it, even though I might not like my job. But what will get me inspired to go and do it on my own when nobody's watching me, when every day I've got to get up and make it happen? And so these things are real. We all go through them. So I want to talk about right now, today, what's going on, not just my life. I'll share some examples. But between now and the new year, we have an opportunity to really get ready for an up and coming year. So I'm going to share a couple of ideas on how I'm doing it to be able to achieve what I call nothingness. Now, I've been reading a book called Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. And in the book, he talked about coming to a quiet place where there's absolutely nothing happening or complete stillness. And it gets into a lot of Zen philosophy, and I find it really interesting. But one of the things that I really marvel at is this idea that we can clear our minds and really shift towards a real peaceful mindset by getting rid of all the clutter in our minds and achieving nothing or emptiness. And as I've been trying to contemplate it and thinking about in my life how I can do that, a couple of things occurred to me that I've done that's really helped me. So I want to share these with you. I don't know if you know an author by the name of Marie Kondo, or the Japanese call her Kono Mari. She wrote a book about, I think it's called The Art of Tidying Up. She has a program on Netflix where she goes into people's homes and she looks at all the clutter and she takes people's drawers and rearranges clothing and their closets and cleans it out. She said that from a really early experience when she was going to school as a kid. When the kids were at recess, she was in the classroom tidying up the bookshelf. Like, she was obsessed with tidying things up. And that got her really in a state of realizing what we have in life, what we need and what we don't need. So to elaborate on that, many years ago, I read another Japanese philosopher, and she had this concept that if you want new things to happen in your life, you need to go and throw out the things that you don't want. And so I went into my closet. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I'm going to kind of challenge you to do this between now and the new year. And her philosophy was, you'll attract new things into your life if you get rid of the old things. Just get rid of them. So I went through my closet and I started, and I found stuff. Well, first of all, let me just say this. When I got married, my wife went through my closet and threw out like my cowboy boots. She threw out a bunch of vests from the 80s that I used to like to wear, and she just threw them all out. And I'm like, sweetheart, where's all my stuff? And she said, I don't like any of the stuff on you. I threw it away. And for me, it was like, man, I felt like my identity was going out. You know, like my old football jerseys that I wore in college, and just a couple of really pieces of clothing that I really identified with. But when I read the book, I went through my closet and I started like reliving memories of all this clothing. And I'm going to challenge you guys that if you want to achieve stillness and if you want to find a way to really push forward in the new year, to maybe go through this exercise. So I went to my closet, got shoes that I hadn't worn in like a year. I found shirts that I used to love that I hadn't worn in a very long time. Colors of pants that I kind of out of date. And basically, to make a long story short, I emptied out half of my closet. I put it all in bags. I took it down to the local, like a Goodwill, if you will, Salvation Army kind of store. And I got rid of all of it. And what this gal said is, if you get rid of stuff in your life that you're not using, new things are going to find their way into your closet. And I watched probably over the next like 4 to 6 months, new clothing items coming, because maybe I was consciously saying to myself, I need new things. But two things happened. Number one, I became really grateful for the things that I had. So when I decided to keep a shirt, I I was kind of connected to the shirt, and I was grateful that I had the shirt. I know that Marie Kondo talks about in her art of tidying up, she actually folds shirts a certain way. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I started to do this, okay? It lasted for like 4 months because when you take the shirt, you got to fold it inward and tuck it under, and it's usually about a third of the size of any of the shirts that I've ever folded. I started doing it with pants. And then I started thanking my clothing. I know it sounds crazy, but she said to do it. So I started thanking my clothing for being a good shirt, for being a good pair of jeans, thankful for my shoes. And what it started doing for me personally was I started having a sense of gratitude for everything around me and appreciation. And all the things that in my life that were negative, they weren't so bad anymore. I wasn't obsessed with some of these other issues going on in my life because I was so inherently grateful for the things that I had. Now you might be saying, "Hey, I came on here to learn about APO Go. You know, what's this guy going on and on about?" But I want to tell you, for me, that mindset was really, really important to clear that out in my life, to invite new things in. Now, a lot of you here, and I would venture to say that most of you maybe have been on your knees praying for something to happen, or maybe thinking really intensely about how you could make an improvement in your life, whether it's a better health, maybe, obviously increasing finances, making friends. All of you, to some degree, between last week and 4 or 5 months ago, or maybe even longer, maybe a year ago, we're focused on, man, how can I get to where I want to go in life? Because I'm here, but I want this. And how do I get there? And that thought process, when you get to that thought process of realizing what your self-worth is, how much you actually are worth, and you start feeding yourself these ideas that, hey, I can dream about things, I can achieve things. Once you start that thought process, the universe, we'll just say the universe for now, finds a way to fill those voids and fill those gaps for you. And I certainly have been a proponent. Before APO Go, Sarah mentioned I was with another company that was in high momentum, and we were probably the fastest growing home sales business, direct sales company for the previous 4 months. And I'd gone to work for a company with a really good product line, but that was it. And Sarah was actually mistaken when she said I walked away from it. I didn't walk away, I actually ran away from it. I ran away because it didn't line up with who I was. And I know that as good as money is to have, you can make money, but if you're hurting people, why would you stay? Right? That's not why we do life. We do life for those reasons. So getting back to it, achieve stillness, achieve a place where you can grow, and use the next 17 days. So between now and January 1st, you have 17 days. So I'm really going to admonish you, get in your closet, find things that you don't use anymore, thank them, and get rid of them, and invite new things to come into your life. And I promise you, if you do that, might seem kind of weird, but new things will find a way into your life. Now, I'm going to make the same analogy for your mind, okay? You need to open and clear your mind and get rid of the negative thoughts, get rid of the doubts, get rid of the worries. I'll tell you that in this business, it's really different because you can have 2 really bad weeks, and then you get one person to join your company, your team, it's the right person, and everything can significantly change overnight. Now, for most people, it's going to be finding 2 or 3 really good leaders to get things moving. If that's not happening, I want to challenge you to take a look at yourself and why that's not happening. There's a law of attraction, right? There's also a statistic that says if you take your 5 best friends, the people that you hang out with, the people that you identify with, and add up their income and divide it by 5, more than likely that's your income. We are who we hang around with. We are who our thought processes are. So coming to a Zoom like this, even though we're busy, the holidays are coming, it's really important to identify with people that know and believe what you do and support each other. Why? Because the rest of the world, first of all, I think if more people knew what we had, which is starting to happen, these Zooms are going to fill up more and more. But why not use this time right now to improve yourself, to improve your mindset, to improve your thinking, the way you approach people and the way you talk to people. So with that being said, let me move on and share a couple of things that I think that I really think I was thinking about sharing, that I want to share, that I hope will help you. I'm going to name 5 things. I'm a big guy for like 5 or 7 reasons for this or that. I'm going to go over 5 things that I think could help you grow your business, but more importantly, that can be enriching for your life. When I came on board with APO Go, it was really a fluke. Well, I shouldn't say that, because when you work with people in the industry and you have opportunities coming, there really are no flukes. There are untimed events that happen that you don't plan for in your life. And I think my job is to be smart enough to recognize them and not turn them away. And like many of you, if you've done direct sales before, if you've ever had people approach you about a business, maybe it's a traditional business, you have to evaluate the business and you have to evaluate your commitment to it. And I found in life that when I'm having fun in my business, that's when I'm making the most money. And I realized that in this industry long ago, that when I started to have fun, when I truly woke up and I was excited to talk to people, that's when success started coming. Now, today, we live in a post-COVID world. So we're not dragging people to meetings or calling people up and picking them up every Thursday. And I think that's a really good thing. Never in the history of the world has there been so much technology and such a huge opportunity than there is right now. Stimulus checks are going out again, I hear. There are so many people looking right now. My job as a distributor is to open my mouth and to share it with other people and not keep it to myself. And I've learned over the years not to prejudge people for who I think is ready and who's not, because quite honestly, it usually happens like this. People that I think are going to be receptive aren't, and people that I think probably won't do anything do, and it's not for me to decide. So I've titled this, well, there's really no title. There's just 5 things to talk about or share. So I'm going to talk about, I'll bring them up in short order. Number 1, I want you, in order to be successful in your business, the first thing to do is build your product story. To me, that's the most important thing you can do, is build your product story. What I did was I put on a piece of paper all the ailments that I have. Now I'm fairly healthy, but I have acid reflux. It happened when I was in college. I learned not to eat double pepperoni, double sauce pizzas at 2 a.m, or I would pay for it. And as a 22-year-old, it happened to me. And if I'm not careful, I have really bad acid reflux. I also have sore joints. So I'm writing on a piece of paper, and I challenge you to do this. Write all of the ailments that you have with you. These are maybe curses, but they're also blessings, okay? So write them down. For me, it was sore joints, lack of energy, and then hard time falling asleep. Those are the 3 biggest things besides acid reflux. So I wrote those things down. Number 2, I went into the APO Go product line and I researched the 15 different drops. And I got a feeling for what each one of them did. Now, honestly, I did most of the marketing for what we have today, because it was all in Russian, right? So my job was to come into the company, gather all the marketing collateral, and retell the story. Nobody knew what an Annie and DNA drop, including Moscow, when we started, because they didn't use those terms. But the point is I used that time to identify with all the different products. Then what I did was I began to experiment in my laboratory. Okay, so you might be saying, well, what laboratory is that? Well, it's my body. My body is my laboratory. And, people say, are there lab studies on it, or are there double-blind placebo studies, whatever. My point is that your body is a laboratory. Your body knows if it likes it or if it doesn't like it. It knows if it works or if it doesn't work. So I started experimenting. I started taking these drops, and some that I noticed didn't do anything for like 3 weeks before I had an experience. But others, I'd have an experience immediately. So I want to tell you about my two favorite products. I combo drop them because my lab experiment has said, Kauri, if you ever eat spicy food late or you eat a lot of food late, which I gotta admit, I do it, man. I love to eat. I will take one RLX and one ice together. I'll combo drop them right before bed. And every single time I do it, I never have an upset stomach. I never have acid reflux, and I don't have indigestion. It works like a charm for me. Why? Because I put it through my laboratory. I know that it works. SLD, I know if I'm on SLD, my joint pain goes down by at least a third, sometimes half. And honestly, sometimes more than that. Why? Because I put it into my laboratory. I know that it works. Energy, for whatever reason, the pineapple flavored one, I think it's a strength one, that gets me energized, man. For me, that works. I was reading, I think Alicia said something about napping in the afternoon. I read her story. She used to take all these naps, and I haven't had a nap in like 4 months. And I didn't realize that until I read a story that the last time I laid down in my office, I used to have a bed in my office. It's been like 4 months. Now I'm going to tell you, my other company, I take naps all the time, right? Because we were taking stimulants that were loaded with all kinds of things that would jumpstart a car, man. But these products, I take it, I realized I had that energy. So again, look at the products, find out what ails you, write it down, do your research, get it into the lab, and record your results. Once you do that, you're going to learn how to share that. And what I would say to you is that when I share with other people the products, I never talk about the business with people that I don't know really well, because people aren't really open about, in my opinion. I found that leading with the product is much more powerful. Now, there's a saying, the saying is, if they're under 40, lead with the business. If they're over 40, lead with the products. I lead with the products for everyone, unless I know them and I know they like to do business, then I'll lead with the business. So I've learned over the years how to invite people to use the product effectively. First of all, I'll just say this. If you ever watch commercials, when's the last time you saw a really good 10-minute commercial? Probably never. When's the last time you saw a really good 3-minute commercial? Probably never. Commercials are 30 seconds to a minute long. So why do people feel like they have to do 30-minute elevator pitches or 10-minute elevator pitches? You don't. You simply say, Scott, I know you're having problems sleeping. I used to have the same problem. In fact, it got so bad that I'd have to stay up late at night and watch all these shows before I knocked out at 3 a.m. I don't do it anymore. I found this product, tastes absolutely incredible. I want to get you some. Just give it a try. That's my pitch. Now, when I say it with conviction because I've already done my research in my laboratory. I know that it works. And when I convey that to people, people know when you're kind of like just shooting from the hip, and people really know if you really had real experiences. I think they can feel it. So I've learned over the years that if you're going to be successful, you've got to build your product story. You have to know how to deliver or invite people, right, to try it. So product story, practice how to deliver it in a really sincere but spontaneous way. And don't start with, hey, have you ever, don't sound canned. Just shoot from the hip, say, yeah, I know why you're having this problem. I used to have it too. That's why I do this now. And here's how it works. When they try it, they figure out the pricing and they realize that it works, they're going to thank you. So to me, that's really, really important. But you've got to remember to invite people to try the product. Don't ever just tell them about it. Invite them to try it. And the thing I love about our products is that you can just tear and share it with people. You can rip off one or two. They still have package integrity. Share them with people. Have them try it. They're going to say a couple of things when they try it. Tastes really great. Do these really work? But I found out just by doing this simple process with a lot of different people, you can have a lot of success. And of course, we have our sample packages. I admonish you, if you haven't, order like 50 of them. Send them out to people. You know, the packaging is beautiful. They're going to open it up. They're going to take a few. And hopefully, you know, at that point, I always send them to the Go Life page to see other people's testimonials. Why is that page so important? Because as soon as people try the product or you know they've received the product, send them to the Go Life Facebook page. They're going to see tons of testimonials from other people who've tried the products. They're going to read them, read their experiences. They're going to get more excited about it, and they're going to notice those changes. So that's what I would do with the product, getting people to use it, and having those experiences. The next thing that I think is really important, I want everybody to, I'm going to read this, forgive me, understand and embrace the fact that you're entitled to success and deserve to make money. Now, that might sound like a weird thing to say, but I cannot tell you how many people who are never successful because they don't like money, they don't feel like they deserve it. And it's a really big problem for a lot of people who are older. You know, there's a saying that went around for years, the love of money. Money is the root of all evil. The fact of the matter is the love of money is the root of all evil. A story in the Bible talks about the Good Samaritan, right? This guy's walking and he sees a priest, and instead of passing him by, he decides to help him out. He takes him to an inn, pays for his lodging to heal him, take care of him. The point that I want to make with that is the Good Samaritan had money. He had it because he attracted it into his life and he used it to do good things. And I think with money, if you don't like money, you'll never attract it. So I have people saying, well, you know, I'm trying to build the business. I'm not having any success. But when I hear their talk, you know, when I hear them talking to people that I know, they don't want to sell to their friends because they think they're ripping them off. They don't want to talk about money because it's not good to make money on other people's backs. They have the completely wrong mindset to be successful. I learned a long time ago that whenever goods and services are exchanged, somebody's going to make money. And people have to realize that. That happens all the time in business. So why not you and why not now? So again, you deserve to make money. You're worth it. You deserve to be successful. And I don't really care what's happened like in my life. I've been through hard times. I don't care what's happened in your life. I mean, I care, but don't let that keep you from moving forward. Tell yourself, man, I deserve to be successful. My very first company I got involved in, did people laugh at me? Yeah. People say I wasn't going to be successful? Yeah. The general story is I went to a meeting and this guy was telling me I could make $1 million doing this business from home. And you know what happened? A year and a half later, he said if I did what he told me to do, I'd make $1 million. So I listened. I went home, and against my natural instinct to clam up and to tuck away and not do anything, I did stuff. I took the products, I did some research. I used my body as a lab to find out if the product worked. I shared my story. I got good at inviting people to meetings, to Zoom meetings. And you know what happened in a year and a half? I made $1 million. And I did exactly what he told me to do. And I got pretty good at it, but I was consistent. I tried and I never gave up. So that's really, really important. Okay, I'm going to move on now. We're going to go on to number 5. So number 1 was build your product story. Number 2, learn how to share your product story. Number 3, invite others to try your product. Number 4, understand and embrace the fact that you're entitled to success and deserve to make money, which is really all about believing in yourself. I will say this, if you have a spouse that's non-supportive, it can be difficult. If you look at most successful people, they have a supportive spouse. It can be done. But if it can't be done, you need to find a space where you can operate independently and control what you can control. I'll tell you a personal story. Maybe I shouldn't tell this, but I tell all basically when it comes to things in life. My father-in-law was the number 3 distributor for a company called Sunwriter. And during his marriage, his wife was intensely negative about everything. told him he was stupid, wasting his time, went on for years. He achieved greatness, success. Then he left her. He left her. And my thought was, good for you. Get away from that negativity, right? Fly with the eagles. Now, I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying, hey, you're going to attract what you are. And if what you can't control, you can't control, but you've got to learn to detach from it and let it take its course. And you need to be able to focus on what you do with or without the support. Just ask for support that you can spend X amount of time away from the kids doing the business. And it's a big issue for couples. It's a big issue for every single couple. Fortunately, my wife's from a network marketing family. I'm from a network marketing family. I poured my first bottle of nasty tasting juice when I was 7 years old at a trade show. And my parents said, we live in Hawaii. It's really expensive. We have full-time jobs and we have a dream and we're going to go after it. We're going to go for it. So I thank them for that, for giving me the DNA to say, you can do it, son. You don't have to grow up in Hawaii and stay on that rock. You can leave and do amazing things. And I'm proud to say I've traveled probably 37, 35 countries in the last 3.5 years, speaking to people about achieving their dreams. Okay, number 5. I'm taking too much time. What time is it? 7:31. Okay, let me get through this. Okay, number 5. Okay, so I'm going to talk about number 5 is understanding and utilizing the powerful position of being an associate with APO Go and what it provides you. So I'm going to give you 6 things that I think are so incredible about our company. And I will say real briefly, yeah, I've been in other companies as a corporate executive. I've worked in a ton of markets. I've seen a lot of compensation plans. I've seen a lot of product lines. I've also developed product lines, but I've never seen anything like this. And I'm going to tell you that you're in a very, very powerful position right now with APO Go for these 6 reasons. There are more, but I'm going to elaborate on 6 of them. Number 1, we are first to market a brand new category of products. We are telling a story that's never been told before. So you're not going to go to anybody and talk about anion DNA drops. And you're going to go, I already heard about it. Nobody's heard about it. So you have a first mover's advantage. Again, remember how to invite people in to tell your story. Don't blow it, okay? You get one time to make a first impression. There's a saying that I love, slow down to speed up. The worst thing you can do when you sign somebody up is have them go tell everybody in the next 24 hours. You need to train them to develop their laboratory, to try the products and experience, write down the results, figure out how to tell their story, then invite people. That's the process, right? So a category creating product is very important. Now, what are category creators? Band-Aid. That's a category creator because there was no Band-Aids before Band-Aid. Tissue, Xerox. I could go on and on. These are brand new categories that were created and today they're mainstream. Now, you guys probably know that Hippocrates was creating capsules and pills back in the day. They've been around for centuries. And last time I checked, there are millions of people that hate choking down capsules and pills. Last night, I had a bad cough. I went and got a Costco reliever for chest codes. I tried to swallow that thing 3 times. It went halfway down and came right back up. It was like chalky. I threw that thing away after 3 times. I went and got an ice and I laid in my bed and just thank goodness, thank the Lord, really, that we got some amazing products. And I went to bed just like that. Okay. So my point is category creator, first to market. That makes you very powerful. You're telling a new story. Number 2, we're solving people's problems all over the world with an anion DNA drop that has an amazing cumulative assay technology, and they taste amazing and they work. There's a picture I took of my daughter a couple months ago holding out 2 hands. Which one would you prefer? Do you want the handful of horse pills, chalky chews, or maybe even drinks that you got to mix? Or do you want to try one of these beautiful drops that taste amazing? They're all natural, And the answer is obvious. Everybody would rather take that drop than take one of those pills. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to replace all the pills, but what I am saying is that there are millions of people who don't know about these that will prefer them. to the traditional way. And you need to understand how powerful that is. Number three, our product pricing. One of the things I did in my last company, we looked at the world. We looked at the world economy and we did our research and we realized that $500 a month is what pays for the bills of 80% of the world. I don't know if you knew this. 500 US will pay for all the bills for families all over the world for 80% of the families. They can pay all of their bills. Now, in the US, it's nowhere near that. But the thought process was, how could you develop a product line and price point that not just industrialized countries could afford, but all the other markets could afford? So we built a product line with a price point for those markets. The thing that I loved about Sergey when I came in is that I took a look at the blister packs and I knew that we could actually cut these up and share them with people. In third world markets, you know what they're going to do with these? They're going to cut them up and sell them on the street. That's what they're going to do in the Philippines. They're going to do it in Malaysia. They're going to do it in South America, because even 2 or 3 of these can have a profound effect, and they're going to cut and share. And you think about that, this product line or this particular product, I believe is $30 wholesale or $35. A lot of them are $25 wholesale or $40 wholesale. These price points work with not just industrialized countries, they work with all the markets. So you have a product that's category creator, first to market, and the pricing is built for everybody to afford. And for a lot of people that have allergies, they take medicine for allergies, or they take maybe things to help them fall asleep, supplements to help them sleep, supplements for energy. I could go on and on. We have 15 different drops. They're going to be able to replace those with these products and not spend any more money than what they're currently spending. That's really powerful. Number 4, we have a stable company. So when people say, how can you be a brand new company and be successful and stable? I can say, well, we're a 9-year-old company that's brand new in the US. And there's no growth outside of Russia or any Russian-speaking communities. We are the tip of the spear. 9-year-old company with tons of stability, never changed the compensation plan, money's in the bank, no debt, one owner. And by the way, he's 33 years old. I was really shocked when I found out how young Sergey was. And I was also very grateful because older owners, they have baggage, and you know how long they're going to be around before they want to sell the company, right? You work really hard. The guy decides to sell the company to a bunch of investors. Sergey loves the business. He loves it and he wants to keep it forever. And that means that, look, the guy's got, honestly, probably about a good 35, 40 years ahead of him in this business. Where are you going to be in 40 years? Hopefully with him, right? If you're going to build a residual income, a long-term income, you want to build it with an owner that's going to be there in 35 to 40 years. And if you look across the spectrum of other companies out there, most of them are run by boards of investors or groups of owners. And I'm telling you, to find an owner under 45 years old is very, very rare. And if you do, you know they're thinking about retiring and going to plan B of their exit strategy. So for me, I like this. But when I met Sergey and I realized how much he loved the industry and the fact that he's been a distributor, it means that he's actually built a business. He knows how difficult it is, and he has a lot of compassion and empathy and a lot of excitement to help people to succeed. I'm going to share 2 stories about Sergey. I'll make it really quick. Before my first 3 calls, and I've shared this before, I hope you don't mind. Every time before we did a Zoom call, this is back in June of last year and July, I did 3 Zoom calls, 1 for Russia, 2 for Russia actually, then 1 for our new group. Sergey would call me before every call and say, Kauri, we're so excited and happy to have you. You do such an amazing job. Oh, we're so excited that you joined us. Thank you so much. You mean the world to us. Good luck on the call. Guys, I've never had a call like that from an owner of a company before. Nothing. And he did it 3 times. Second story, when we met him in Phoenix, he took us out to dinner and spent an obscene amount of money. And my point is I realized that Sergey wasn't trying to impress us. Sergey was really trying to show us how much he appreciated us. And if I could say this, I hope you don't mind me sharing this. The guy spent $11,500 on dinner for 7 of us. 7. Now, I'm not a drinker, but man, oh man, I got an introduction to wine and wineries and the whole process. I learned stuff I never knew before, right? And some of my companions, they could drink. I'm just going to tell you that. But anyway, great guy, loves the industry, likes people, stable company. Number 5, we have a top tier compensation plan. If you don't believe me, go to businessforhome.org. You'll see a list of 150 or 200 companies. Look at what they pay out. You're going to see that most of them are 35%. And you're going to say, well, it's got to be a mistake. Why are they all at 35%? The reason why most of them are at 35% is they don't want to share their numbers with Business for Home because their actual payout is not what they're saying in their marketing materials. So words that I look at is up to. We pay up to 20, 30%. We pay up to 50%. Yeah, I can pay my kids up allowance of $1,000. I can pay them up to $1,000 a month. There's no way I'm giving my kid $1,000 a month, right? You might get $20 a month. My point is that there's no catches in our comp plan. We pay out 63 cents on the dollar. And we're one of the few companies that have opened our kimono, if you will, or open up our finances where we allow the regulars to look at it and report it into Business for Home because we can. And you might say, well, how can you guys pay out that much? I get that question asked to me all the time. The gold standard is 50% in the industry. We pay out 63%. How can you do it? We can do it because number 1, we own the technology. Number 2, Sergey owns the manufacturing facility. And number 3, he owns all the growing facilities in Israel. That's how he can do it. And I got to tell you, the markup on his product has to be spectacular. But I don't care because it works and it sells at the price and people want it, which means I have a really good business. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I hired a guy to clean my mom's yard, right? My mom's really old fashioned. I go there. The yard's beautiful. She lives on an acre. Okay. Oh, excuse me, a half an acre. It's absolutely beautiful. But my mom's complaining. And I go, Mom, what are you complaining about? The yard's beautiful. She goes, yeah, but he only spent 30 minutes in the yard. I'm like, are you kidding? Look, if he can get this done in 30 minutes and make it look like this, that's what you want. So my point is we're very efficient on how we produce our products. I don't care if it costs 5 cents to make a drop or a half a penny to make a drop. What I care about is it works. People are having amazing experiences and we can sell for 25 bucks a box. And it's still 100% below market value on anything else out there. That's what I care about. To me, that's a really good business model. I got excited when I saw those prices. I hope you are too. And last but not least, number 6, we're launching and opening new markets. So honestly, we have a long way to go in the US. The US has barely even been touched. If you go out and talk to people in the supermarket, at your schools, wherever you meet people at church, whatever the case may be, nobody's ever heard of it. Imagine the fact that we are now pushing to launch South Korea. It's an announcement that's going to come out soon. When South Korea opens, all the other regional markets will open as well because we open in regions these days. Now, you may be saying, I don't know anybody in South Korea. I'm going to tell you, back in 2002, I knew nobody in Japan, but somebody that I knew somebody in Japan. And on my 5th month, I had 1,700 people there on my team. And if you've ever experienced passive residual income coming in from another time zone, it is an absolutely beautiful thing. So that being said, we have a lot going on for us. We have all these new markets coming on board. And yeah, that's it. I want to share that with you guys and thank you for the opportunity tonight.
Thank you so much, Kauri. I couldn't have hoped for a better training. I think that we all took away a lot. I really wanted Kauri to touch on what makes our company special. I wanted you guys to hear from somebody that's been involved in the industry for a while. And I think that you did a phenomenal job. I could not have asked for more. So thank you so much, Kauri. I know that we still have about 15 minutes that we run. Do you mind if we open it up if anybody has any questions for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know if anybody wants to chime in or ask Kauri a question or just tell him.
I got one question. Kauri, why are you so amazing? You're so good at explaining everything.
Oh, that's kind of you. I don't know if I'm good at it. All I know is,
You are.
but thank you. All I know is I have a lot of life experiences. You can see my hair is graying. I'm kind of going to my new phase in life of just letting it go, man, and having fun with it.
You're the network marketing George Clooney. Don't even try.
Thank you. I love people and I love the industry, but I really grown to love life, and I kind of consider it almost a responsibility to share things. So I try to do it as precisely as I can. So thank you very much.
Yeah, dude, love your energy, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was my only question.
Oh, before we have another question, I do want to make an announcement. Can I share a few things?
Yes.
So I got this in my box today, and there actually 3 of these came together. Okay, can you already see that?
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I don't remember ordering 3 BTYs, even though Jenny loves this stuff. She just loves it. I know Alicia does as well. So I got this. I'm like, I never ordered 3 BTYs, but I began to look in the box and I found this.
What?
You stinker. We're all
Where's mine?
This is the Serum Elixir. And look at the packaging. I've got a couple lights on, but there's these beautiful silver swans.
Oh.
I don't know if you can see them. My daughter is really.
If I could reach out and grab that, I would steal it from you in this very moment.
My daughter's into branding and my wife, and they're like, holy, look at the branding on this. And then I looked and I found the rest of them. This is the 2-in-1 elixir mist, facial mist. You see how size this box is? Yeah. How beautiful the box is.
The packaging on everything is so sexy.
Yeah.
It is top notch. And I could go on and on, but there are 1, 2, 3, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 7 pieces that came today. And tomorrow we're gonna do an unboxing. I'm gonna have my wife do it. And I'm gonna post it on a video. But these are some of the products. They're very heavy. The packaging is just the light blue and silver, amazing. And you can see how they do it, and it's just so really cool. Also, just so you know, we have a brand new called Go Beauty Facebook group page. You're gonna get invited on there. We're gonna do our unmasking on that page, photography of the products. My daughter does a lot of modeling, so I've asked her to do some of the things just to get some collateral out. But anyway, I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys are as well. And we started shipping to everybody in the US. Go check your back office. You should show a ship status on your products if you've ordered them. If you haven't, it'll change in the next day or two. So, yeah.
I've never been, obviously, skin and hair and all that good stuff. You want to look good and feel good, right? And if you look good, you feel good. You feel even better. But, I've never been excited about beauty products that much. And I don't know what it is, but I think maybe it's just the one of a kind, unique Accumulate SA technology being used with this. That's no other company or product line or skin and hair care line in the world is even doing that. And then on top of that, the ingredients and just people looking this over, estheticians and dermatologists and skincare specialists, they're actually checking out the ingredients and they're like, whoa, it's being compared to the most expensive and the best skincare products out there, but it doesn't have the chemicals and all the crazy stuff in it. So I'm actually like, look, and I ain't getting any younger, right? So I'm all for it, man. I'm excited.
We all know you're going to use it, Kevin.
I'm totally using it, man.
You ain't got to lie to kick it. We know.
Amen. Yeah. Excited.
You're making us jealous, Kauri. Thank you for showing us. It's so pretty. It's so classy. It has the Tiffany blue. And I just love our marketing. I don't think I've ever had such a respect for packaging and marketing material until, honestly, APL Go, because I've never seen anything so beautiful before, even the drops. So I don't know if anybody else wants to add in here while we have Kauri with us tonight. I know it's a special treat. I'd love for anybody else to chime in or just say thank you for being with us. But we can wrap it up if nobody else wants to chime in here with us.
I do. I have some questions, and maybe you know, or maybe you don't, but I'm curious, like maybe about like our sales since we've opened up, like, you know, maybe some kind of stats or something if you have any of that information to share.
Oh, yeah.
All I know, and this is a great question, we're all kind of waiting for the new back office. So just so you guys know, I think you know this, we're close to, I was told we're close to releasing a new back office. And about a month and a half ago, I actually saw it, and it's spectacular. I mean, there's circles with like 40% done, 50% done to hit this rank. I mean, it's all there. One thing that we lack is the metrics, how to measure. I do know that we did, I think 1.1 million in our third month.
Wow.
Which is really high. And I know that our numbers are going up. I don't know the numbers. And this is something that we've asked Sergey for, to tell us what the numbers are. Another announcement, you guys probably know this, we are in process and have interviewed a few people for the position of VP of Sales. And we've interviewed some really good people. And so I'm excited to see where it goes. But Sergey said, I'm going to get you a VP of Sales to fill that role, and he will be able to get the numbers for us every single month. So I look forward to getting that. And for me, I've been gauging on my check. I see my check and I kind of get a feel for maybe what's happening. I will say that even though we're in December, it's still pretty robust. I look at what's coming in every day and the volume, and I'm pretty excited of what's happening. So good things. Hopefully soon.
What about a medical advisory board? And, you know, I have a lot of people say or ask me, well, what about clinical studies and, you know, all that good stuff? Do we have any, are we going that direction at any point, or?
I think we have to, Alicia. I think we have to, from the standpoint of, we have real technology. If we don't use it to our advantage to explain it, then we should. And I've learned in marketing and launching companies and product lines, if we don't define what we have, our competitors will. So we're going to define what we have. Now, Mary Esther, I had a Zoom with her scheduled last week. It got postponed. And some people was like, what happened? And I'll share this with you. Her book is a wonderful book, but compliance doesn't want her to use APO Go in her title, or APO, simply because it's a company name, and it on a book, anything that's in that book, the company's liable for. And she's so awesome. She goes, yeah, no worries, I'll repurpose the book. So I've had conversations with her and others about being on the medical advisory board, or being like a scientist board, a nutritionist board. It's going to be really important to do this, because there are a lot of people who are going to want the data. And we know with the raw studies that she's done, I think she said she took 7 months to write that book. It's chock full of information and reference. So I'm with you. Yes, we do need a scientific board. But right now we're kind of putting that together. And we need that first quarter of this year so that we can invite people to calls, because as much as we love the business, if I'm telling you guys that we should lead with the products, then theoretically we should lead with scientific boards and product people in all of our presentations. The comp plan is the comp plan. The great thing about our comp plan is you don't have to understand how it works. You just have to understand the concept of keeping your legs balanced, putting people on your left leg or right leg until you hit a certain rank, then open up a third leg. It's really that simple. So yeah, we need to have a product advisory board, and that is in the works.
Awesome. So you're mentioning comp plan. One more question about that, and it's Diamond. I know some people are, you know, still a little bit unclear maybe about the 90 days to Diamond. If they don't make the 90 days, do they get another opportunity?
Yeah, there has to be a mechanism in place. So if you design a comp plan where you can hit Diamond at any point, so maybe we'll go back into it. Comp plans are designed on human behavior, okay? And I'm going to fill in on something you guys may know. When people write compensation plans, they base it on how many they think are actually going to achieve certain things. If everybody achieved everything, then comp plans wouldn't work the way that they wouldn't work in the sense that the comp plan would be stable. They'd have to change the comp plan over and over again if too many people achieve things. I know that sounds odd, but bear with me for a moment. If we allow people in an indiscriminate amount of time to become a diamond, then you'd have to change the comp plan and pay out less. And here's why. Because there's no hurry to get to it. You're going to get there one day. And now, instead of maybe 50% hitting diamond, I'm just throwing some numbers out, maybe 90% will hit diamond. And now everybody's getting paid out a higher level or more amount of money, and the comp plan has to be changed because the comp plan is too rich. Does that make sense? So when Sergey designed the comp plan, the reason why there's a 90-day time period is we know that the people who are going to do it more than likely are going to do it within the 90 days. Now, if they don't, right, and they try, they didn't do it, what Sergey's going to do is he's going to run promos once or twice or 3 times a year to be able to get you to diamond if you haven't already achieved it, or VIP. So in other words, that door is not permanently closed to you. You just have to wait for the next promo. It does a couple of things. One, it creates a sense of urgency. And I know that for me, if I have urgency, I'm a much more effective builder. And I'm not the any day guy. I'm the today guy. And that's what we want. If people are going to achieve rank advancement in any type of scenario, if you hold them to a time frame, your chances for success of building leaders and getting them where they go way, way up. So I'm grateful for it, but I'm also grateful for the fact that the door is not permanently closed. They just need to stay tuned for that right promotion.
Nice.
Thank you.
Can I ask you something about the app? I've been hearing about an app coming. How soon will that be happening?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Rapid Funnel signed their agreement with APO Go about 2 weeks ago. Sergey signed it. And the name of the app is Rapid Funnel. That's the name of the company. It'll be white labeled with our name on the app. So Patrick and Rapid Funnel are putting the app together right now. The app does exist. They're just transferring the information onto it. So that's up and going. We're scheduled to have a leader call, I think on December the 30th, to do a webinar or a Zoom meeting with the app provider for the leaders to show us how it works. The next phase will be creating content. What the app will allow you to do is to share content, meaning videos with other prospects. Then you can track how much of the video they watched, when they watched it. Also, the app will provide more of a back office feel so you can look at some of your stats. And also it'll enable teams to have their own team groups or communities within the app. So for instance, if you're part of Candy Girls, there might be a Candy Girl section in the app. Just click that on and you'll see all the events coming up for your team. So it's gonna be really great. We do have that signed, and I know that Patrick is working on it right now to get it ready for us to take a look at on December the 30th. I haven't even made that announcement yet. It'll be coming out soon.
Hey,
Okay,
Kauri.
I'm sorry, Kevin. And one more thing, I know that in one of the other companies that I was with, and I'm not going to mention any names, that they also had an app, but they were charging a monthly fee for that. So is there going to be a monthly fee for us for having that?
There will be a monthly fee. So, and I don't know what that monthly fee is. I believe it's going to be in the $9 to $14 range, but you have to find value with it. It's not mandatory. I think there's going to be a free version, but if you want more of the specs and more of the details, you'll pay for it just like any other thing in life that's good. You know, we have to pay for them. But from what I understand, it'll be between the $9 and $14 range, but I'm not, I don't exactly know, but that's what I think it is.
Well, thank you, Kauri.
You're welcome.
Kauri, is the company thinking about doing like video production for the products and stuff like that? Some like very good inspirational. I'm a fool for videos. I think a lot of people are. I just love it. It just opens your eyes. It inspires you. It gives you goosebumps. Your heart starts racing. Oh my God! You just want to share the video. Something catchy, something short, something just amazing, colorful, and well done, well produced. You send that 1-2 minute video to somebody, and they're just like, "Where has this been my whole life?" I mean, those are the kind of production. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
You need those.
Yeah, when I got started in the industry, we were sending out DVDs to the mail, and the spin rate's like 5%. So I'm sending 100 DVDs out, 5% are spinning it. I'm calling people on Saturday. Most of them are lying to me, saying they watched it. I know they didn't watch it. It's still in their mailbox. I got so frustrated. I contacted a friend of mine who's with American Airlines, and he wrote a technology where if your plane is late, you get a text saying your plane's late. And I'm like, we're going to take this to market. Yeah. So we launched Xanergy worldwide in 2006. And it was the very first ever video platform that you could send a video to people and you know when they're watching it. Wow. Right? That was me. I did it because I was sick of sending DVDs to the mail and wasting my time and getting rejected all the time. And I do want to tell you, rejection is part of what we do. There's a book that's called like No's to the Yeses or something like that. I can't remember. I should remember. But the idea is that we collect no's and it's okay. Don't take it personally. Just get on to the next thing. But remember, if you're doing a good product commercial, you're not going to get any no's. You can say, do you want to try it? If they say no, then they're fools. But most of them will say, yeah, I'll give it a try, you know? So back to the point, I'm with you, Kevin. I love videos. I've written a lot of videos over my life. My last company, we produced a video that's really good, very short, 45 seconds, fun, music. You got to try this, right now, and just to be square with you, these are all produced, but they're all in Russian. They're built for a Russian mindset, right? The Russians think differently than we do, how they perceive things. So I get videos, I'm like going, no way. I like the high product quality, but we can't have that voice. It's not a real American voice. So we are asking Sergey that as we get our new VP of sales, we want to move marketing here in the US. We love Olga. We love what she's done, but she can't produce our videos, man. We're not going to use them. I mean,
I think Travis was talking about, he knows the guy that was doing the videos for his company prior to this one. And I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of the product, and I think that's why we're all kind of not there. But the videos were amazing. Like, they were really, really good, like really high quality, very well produced videos. And they would sell the product themselves. So we need something, either that guy or something like that going on here, man. I'm a fool for videos. We got to get the videos.
We called him.
Oh, cool.
We called him, but he was doing other projects. But yeah, I've worked with video producers, guys, for the last 15 years. And can you tell a story, right? And can you make it interesting? And can you have fun with it? And is it catchy? So yeah, we're definitely going to do that.
Awesome. Anybody else?
It's going to be really cool to see all of these things that we're talking about come to fruition, and knowing that we were a part of this when it was just being talked about.
Yeah. Guys, I'm going to tell you, we'll look back at this in 2 or 3 years and just be amazed. You'll sit at a convention one year and just go, I can't believe I was in first.
Yeah.
I can't believe that I was there. And I hope that your paychecks and the amount of friends that you've made reflect that. We are lucky. We're really lucky. I talk to networkers all the time like you guys do, and it's spectacular. And for my family, I will share this. We've had so many blessings. When I told Sergey I would consult, but I want to be frontline to the company, I didn't realize the impact that would have in my life and my family's life, and probably the best financial decision I've ever made. And I've been in this thing for a while, and I know where it's headed, and I know what you guys are capable of. And I'm going to tell you that every single one of you, you deserve it. You deserve to be successful. And I don't care what anybody's told you. I don't care what you tell yourself. At night, you've got to tell yourself, I can do this. I found out, when I exercise and when I do things, I always tell myself, you're okay. I slow down my heart rate. I tell myself, Kauri, you're okay. You can do this. And in business, when people tell me no, I tell myself, Kauri, you can do this. I think of my kids sleeping in their rooms at night, hoping their dad is working hard for their future, right? And how lucky we are, not just to have a good product, not just to have a good compensation plan, not to have just good, amazing leaders, but to have a founder who actually likes people, cares about people. And I look forward to the day when you all can meet him. So on behalf of Sergey, I know he'd tell you this if he was here. Thank you for believing in him. Thank you for believing in his company. You haven't seen anything yet, and the best is ahead of us.
Sergey has such an innocence to him. It's the most beautiful thing ever. I mean, you don't see that in owners. They're just hard and callous, but Sergey, he just has this big bright-eyed bushy tail, just innocence. He's like a kid, man, and he genuinely loves people, and you could feel it when you join this company and you taste these products and the energy that's attached to this, like a rune. It is just unbelievable. Sarah and I, and Alicia and all of us, we've had some pretty good success in our companies, and we've never felt anything like this before. This is just like, it has my heart. It has my heart. So I just feel amazing. And I love everybody here. We're all just a family. We're all, it's beautiful. Love it.
Awesome. Kevin, thank you.
So on that note, I'm going to end it. I know it's after 10 on the East Coast and it's getting later for all of us. So again, thank you so much, Kauri, for joining us, the Candy Crew, tonight. And I cannot wait for your next guest appearance.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kauri.
You're all worth it. Love you guys. Take care.
Have a good night.
Thanks for the temp with the beauty stuff.
Yeah. Geez.